welcome everybody. I'm here with Matt Dietrich and Annabel Ramirez from the Apollo Chamber Players, composer Javier Farias, and choreographer and dancer Karina Gonzalez. Welcome all. Matt,
thank you.
The Andean Suite, which we are talking about today, is the 10th commission in Apollo's 20x2020 commissioning project. I think it was performed first in 2017.
Yes.
How did this commission come about?
Well, thank you, St.John. So this marked the halfway point of our commissioning project, the 10th commission of 20x2020. However, the groundwork for this commission was laid about, I guess it was a year and a half before. We were in New York City performing our 5th commission, String Quartet No. 2 by Arthur Hernandez, Texas. We were performed at Symphony Space, and it was after the premiere here in Houston. And a gentleman came to the concert named Scott Hill, who I believe is a classical guitarist. He really got what we were trying to do with our project, and he told us about Javier Farias. He said, "I got this friend. He's a wonderful musician and composer, and I think he could write you a really cool piece, probably based on his heritage, something dealing with the Andean region." So I contacted Javier. He put us in touch, and then we came up with the idea for the Andean Suite. And I think it was a really great halfway point to our project.
Well, Javier, you are originally from Chile, is that correct?
Yeah.
And tell us about the Andean region, because it's a region that spreads across several countries, isn't that so?
Mm-hmm. Yes. You know, the name is taken from the Andean mountains, these huge mountains that we have all over South America. So, but basically when we talk about Andes or Andean music, we are specifically talking about what happened in Bolivia and Peru, highlands part of the Andes. So there is a very rich musical culture that was born in the pre-Columbian era, before the conqueror landed on South America. And so there is this very rich tradition. When I was in college, I had the chance to travel a couple of times to Cusco, which was the capital of the Inca Empire. So that experience really changed the way I conceive music. At that moment, I was studying composition and classical guitar. But then I discovered that in Cusco, there was like a very long tradition of classical music. Composers that were composing music based on their own rhythms, their own traditions. So I actually had the chance to meet a composer who was writing a lot of music for guitar, for classical guitar. So that was like a very important moment in my life.
It sounds like your journey was similar to that of Astor Piazzolla, the Argentinian composer. You were going to say that too, because he was trying to find his voice, and he was trying to do all these very modernist classical techniques, and then he found, he's like, you need to be a tango composer, or
well, it was Nadia Boulanger who he went to study with her in Paris, and she said to him, "You know what you need to do is go home and write the music that you feel." So at what point, Javier, did you start to compose?
17 years old. I tried my first pieces on the guitar, like classical guitar. I was 17. Yeah. But I started like as a rock musician. My first encounter with the instrument was the electric guitar. I was a teenager. I was 12 years old, and back then AC/DC was, in the peak of their career. So for everyone, AC was the thing. So I started playing rock music, and I think I probably told you this, but rock music is another, big influence of my music. Flamenco music is number one, of course. Flamenco is what really transform the way I feel, the way I compose music.
Let's talk about the Andean Suite. It's divided into 3 movements. They are all inspired by different rhythms, different music from the Andean region. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, for the first movement, what I wanted to do is to somehow imitate the sound of the charango. So the charango is this small Andean guitar, 10 strings instrument, high pitch. It's very rhythmic, and in the introduction that I composed, there is components of Andean music and also flamenco music.
Well, I'm going to talk to Matt about that first movement. It's called the Yawa Fiesta.
Yes.
And you can show us what that's about, can't you?
I can. So this is a artist rendering of the Yawa Fiesta, and right here is the condor and the bull. And I believe, Javier, correct me if I'm wrong, but the bull represents the Spanish conquistadors, and the condor represents Andean culture, Peruvian culture.
Yeah.
Is it a happy festival or a sad festival?
It's not as sad, I guess. I don't think so. People really enjoy. They still have this very simple life in the Andes. People is very poor. They live sometimes in very miserable conditions, but still I think people are proud of what they are somehow.
And there is a sense of triumph, isn't there, with the condor chasing away the bull? Yeah,
it's so the Andean people is taking over the Spanish. Yeah, that's the main idea of that.
The second movement is a slower movement. Can you give us the title of that? Because I don't know that I can pronounce it correctly.
The Huayno.
Huayno. And this is, as I said, it's a slower, more contemplative movement.
Contemplative. This is probably the most popular rhythm in Andean music. Let me play something in the original way of playing this rhythm. Goes like this. So this pattern, like tum ta ta tum ta ta tum ta ta tum, is the characteristic feature of this rhythm.
And then the final movement is Diablada, which I believe is a Bolivian rhythm.
It's a Bolivian, but as many other styles. When we talk about huayno, actually, the rhythm that I just played, in Chile, we also have the same rhythm with a different name. We call it carnavalito. And so, these rhythms, are part of the region more than a country. So I would say Bolivia and Peru, probably, the Diablada is pretty common. Yeah.
It's a good rhythm to dance to. And that leads us very smoothly into talking to Karina Gonzalez, who is one of the principal dancers with the Houston Ballet. And Karina, you are going to choreograph some dance to that final movement. Is that correct?
Yes. So when Annabelle presented this project, this is my second project with Annabelle. So first I want to thank her for the opportunity, especially during this time at home. Then we are now having our normal season with Houston Ballet. So she sent me the link of the performance, and I listened through the whole performance, and I actually really like the second movement. I think as a dancer and I like a slow and passionate movement, but I think during this time I need to dance. So when I hear that third movement, La Diablada, I immediately smile. and I knew that I needed to dance to that piece. The guitar for me reminds me so much of home, and I love to hear the story of Javier and the background of this composition, because the first thing I thought was I need to have a long skirt and I need to move kind of like my movements from folk dance in Venezuela. So I think that's one of my inspirations, and I'm taking in this piece, because I think the piece has so much rhythm, it has flavor, it has passion, and I feel it makes me want to dance. I have to tell the story that I'm choosing to dance and in this pavilion, which the story behind is I just went to this park closer to home. The name is Tombas Park, and I took Julia to, for a walk. And
that's your daughter?
That's my daughter. Yeah, she's 2 years old. So we were like, okay, let's go walk. So we took her to this park, and just walking around, we found this beautiful theater, this open theater, which I didn't know it was there. So we immediately jumped on stage, and I was like, oh my God, this would be a really cool place to do something. So I was just so happy when Annabelle presented this, because I was like, yes, this is perfect. I can move, I can use the space, and it has a beautiful audience of the seats, and so I just felt like it's a perfect timing to, let everything out and dance freely with this beautiful music of Javier.
Right. Annabelle, I know you have played for many years in the Houston Ballet Orchestra, but Apollo also has a working relationship with Houston Ballet as well, don't they?
That's right, St.John. So I've been playing with the Houston Ballet since 2008, but then completely separate with Apollo, we had the opportunity to be a guest on stage to do a choreographed appearance of the quartet with the dancers. So we memorized a piece entitled Cacti, and we were on stage with the dancers, and it was so much fun. And the best part was that we got to know some of them, and we made beautiful connections, and now we can keep doing things together.
I think that experience, again, that opened our mind up to all these different possibilities for collaborating with dancers in the future, and also from our perspective too, just being able to be free of the stage a little bit and walk around.
And Karina, I think you hinted at this, because of the COVID-19 pandemic and the lockdown, the Houston Ballet is on hiatus. So you haven't been able to express yourself through dance as you would do ordinarily. So this is must be a great creative opportunity for you.
Yes, I have to say that this time have brought a new experience for me. I have the opportunity to choreograph 2 years ago for the first time in my entire career. I felt like I didn't have that passion. I have been I graduated from school when I was 16, so I've been dancing professionally for 16 years. So I just been following choreographers, and they tell me what to do, and I rehearse and I do it. But I didn't have the experience of having my own language. And so 2 years ago, I had the opportunity to do it with Houston Ballet, and I loved it. I think I was always afraid of copying choreography, just because I've been doing it for so long. So this experience has been great. This is my third piece here at home, which is beautiful. And yeah, it has brought a whole new way to move and I think to trust myself.
And how's your family in Caracas, Venezuela, Karina?
Yes, the same. We're just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen. Venezuela has been dealing with so much, and now we have the pandemic in there. But my family is okay, also trying to stay safe, they stay at home. And the good thing is like they still have work. They're, my brother and sister, they're teachers, so they're still doing teaching online. And they also have a teenager, so I know how is to do homework at home and also teaching online. So, but they're okay. I think we're praying that this stops sometime soon and we can go back to our normal routine soon.
Well, I'm glad that everybody is safe and well. Thank you very much for sharing your creativity and your artistry with us. And let's enjoy the Andean Suite. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias.